SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad Ann is back. We're so glad Lori is back. We're so glad you're with us. Our souls are welcome here. We're going to sing about that.
That's right, whether you're live streaming or here in person, let's sing about how we are all welcome here. You ready? Let's do it!
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Lighting up our dreams.
My soul is
by
welcome.
Reverend Brett.
Your soul is welcome.
Meditation by
here.
Deborah.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, you know my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
I'm getting the message.
I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
Your soul is welcome
My
here.
soul is welcome here.
Everybody's welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
Everybody,
My soul is welcome here.
everybody, everybody is welcome.
My soul is welcome here.
You are welcome
My
here.
soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
I said, yes, I said you're welcome. Everybody's welcome.
And good morning, SLC. Good morning, Reverend Deborah.
Good morning, Reverend Rick, and good morning, everyone. We greet you this morning in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people, worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and of course the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, whether you're watching us online or here in person, we especially want to welcome you because we know that there is no space that God does not grace. And if, you, wow, okay. We know that you're not here by accident because we are all here by divine appointment. And please, that divine appointment is also about silencing your electronic devices, refraining from flash photography, and getting back in your body.
Today's daily word is forgiveness. And when I think of forgiveness, I think of a word called ole income free, which yeah. See, like, we miserable kids, we used to go to the country club at night and play capture the flag. And, one team would have the third tee and the other would have the 12th tee and capture the flag. But if you were caught, you were then brought to jail. But if you could, which was a tree, but if you could sneak through the guards and get to, and it was dark, and tap that tree and say, ole income free, all of your teammates who had been captured were free. And I think of that very much, of that forgiveness, that, when we're thinking when we're thinking about, oh my God, the mistake I made in 1995, I blotted my copybook irrevocably and ole income free, forgiveness. And the affirmation is, forgiveness is my path to peace. Occasionally, I may decide that a transgression or a mistake is simply unforgivable. However, when I maintain a spiritual perspective, I realize forgiveness is key to moving on from painful interactions and is an important part of my spiritual path. Releasing unforgiveness may be one of the hardest things I will do, but I trust there will be peace in my heart and clarity in my mind when I do it. Whether I struggle to forgive another or myself, I trust there is no judgment or condemnation in spirit. Whatever the error, the divine presence within can help me transcend it. There is no pain, no hurt that is greater or more enduring than God. This is the comfort and the promise that helps me forgive and know lasting peace. And from Luke we read, do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Dear Spirit, thank you for that spirit of forgiveness. To know that that sense of lack or unworthiness is not who we truly are. Who we truly are is in that second unity principle, that divine spark within. Charles Fillmore was one time asked, what's the most powerful line in all the Bible? And he quickly responded, it's in Colossians, the first chapter. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Buddha nature in you, the hope of glory. Higher self inside of you, the hope of glory. Or as Aldous Huxley would put it, the perennial philosophy inside of you, the hope of glory. Thank you for that divine spark inside of us, which resonates with forgiveness and gives us the key to unlock the jail and to say, ole income free. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And these words are from our mission statement are a reminder of who we are here to be. And let's say it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we also say those powerful 5 unity principles. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. And we must take action. And so if your body and mind are together, what's new?
I think we have a meeting of the yes.
All right.
So this week, of course, we have these the Oneness Prayer Circle from 5:30 to 6. Then there is a community meal at 6. No, the reason I was pausing there is we may be moving the prayer circle into the sanctuary for next week, but it's okay. We'll be here. We'll tell you where you need to go, so don't worry about that. Okay, so the meal is at 6, and that goes until about 6:45 or so, and then, of course, Reverend Rick and Peg will be doing their Wednesday night forum, and come join us. It's a really good conversation. They're looking at the book a little differently, and so it goes right along with whatever you're doing in your groups.
Mm-hmm. And so we are now starting the wonderful festival of Diwali. I've sometimes chided the major media that you don't give enough coverage to spirituality and religion, but the New York Times has just come out with it's a newsletter which you can get on every Sunday called Believing. They have a wonderful article today about Diwali, reminding us, I think of it as a Hindu festival, but it's also celebrated by Sikhs and Jains around the world. We are going to be doing something really wonderful in the prayer chapel. Rachel Liebman and Ellen Springwind are going to be doing what's called Rangoli and making a sand mandala, and also will be done today. Then the dissolution of it will be next week. Come by the prayer chapel. Diwali is a wonderful holiday celebrating light over darkness, goodness over evil. There's also going to be a wonderful Diwali celebration by the BK Meditation Center today, 3 to 5:30 p.m. At the Meditation Center. It's 2670 Fair Oaks Boulevard, right here in Sacramento.
And those flyers, there are flyers in there at the hub. So you can find out everything about that one. Okay, so
Bingo!
bingo! Yeah, we have Trick or Treat Bingo coming up. Now, it is this Friday. The online registration ends at noon on Friday. It is this, and this is limited to 40 people. Now, if you try to register and it's closed, call the office for availability, because sometimes we do have people who drop out at the very last minute. So you might still be able to get in. Also, we would love to have a sponsor for the grand prize. And so if you would like to sponsor that, go talk to the hub, or I think you can also do that online, but go talk to the ladies at the hub and they can get you going. And of course, costumes are not required, but they're certainly encouraged. In fact, Reverend Rick called me yesterday and he said, "Do we wear costumes? What's the..." And I said, "Oh yeah." So you're welcome there, and of course, I guess next Sunday as well. So
Great. We have another wonderful interfaith experience coming up. Guru Dev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar will be in Sacramento on October 22nd from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium. There are flyers about this meditation experience, which I think will be just wonderful. And I think we have several folks from his organization who will be here ready to talk to you. Now, I know sometimes it's been difficult watching the news and all that, but social action, if you're thinking of throwing in the towel, all I can say, don't throw in the towel, not yet, because Sally has a suggestion of what you can do.
I want to tell you this sad story, but there still can be light at the end of the tunnel, okay? But it would only be with your help. So let me tell you that there was this dragon that was wandering around in my neighborhood. It was a stray dragon. It had been thrown out of its home. It had no home, and it was very cold, wet, and scared, okay? So somebody thankfully took it over to the animal shelter, and they had some dragon chow, so they gave it some food, so it got fed. But unfortunately, the shelter didn't have enough towels to give this dragon, which was fairly large, a bath. So they couldn't bathe it and dry it up and put it out for adoption, because it's still pretty dirty and smells. So it's still waiting, languishing in the back, waiting for a bath before it can go out and somebody can take it home to make it, its forever home. So please, next week is the last week that you can bring your old, frayed, holy towels. You don't need them. You don't need those holy towels, but please bring them, because the pets at the shelters need them, okay? And I know there's some puppies and kittens that also want a towel to lay on in their little cage, okay, because they're little and they don't stay warm by themselves. So please, next week, bring your towels so that all of those pets can get nice and clean and dry and happy, so that they can go out to their forever homes. So thank you. And if you're interested in what the Community Action Team is doing, see Pam Logan or I. We're getting ready for the Christmas season, and we'll be doing an event then, but we want to hear your suggestions also, and if anybody wants to join the committee to organize these things that we're doing out in the community, we would love to have you join us. So thank you so much. The dragon is waiting, okay?
So we are having a new members meeting after the 11 o'clock service. Will be from 1 to 2 p.m. If you're interested or thinking about membership, come join us. It will be in the annex over there. You can also join the meeting via Zoom. And the Zoom link is on the website. So if you're interested in membership or just thinking about it, come join us, and looking forward to seeing you there.
And so 3 times a year, the Board of Trustees holds a community meeting. One of those, of course, is the annual meeting. But this one is really just a, hey, we're coming to the end of the year. Here's what's been going on. Here's where we are. Just really an informative type of meeting. So that will be from 1:15 to 2:45 next Sunday, and it will be in person. And, of course, it will also be available on Zoom.
Thank you. I have just been so struck by Lori Wood, who has gone through some incredible health challenges, but you know what? Has really, honestly, truly used these spiritual principles to get through it. And when you do that, the results are incredible. We're so glad to see you, Lori.
So first, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been praying for me. I couldn't have done it without you, and I know it. I didn't know it when I was going through it, but I definitely know it now. I think for me, so here's my story. I'll make it short. I'll do my best. On July 10th, which was my mother's birthday, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I opted to have a double mastectomy because I didn't want to go through it again. But as I was sharing what was happening to me with my sisters and my brothers, I could feel the power of the prayer, which was something I grew up with, praying and giving thanks, but never knowing the energy of prayer until this happened. And every day I got a text message from my angel, Ann Roach. Every day. She hasn't missed a day, even when she said she was going to. But what I found was, as I was leading up to the surgery, which was in September, and I was diagnosed in July, my biggest fear was what was going to happen to me during the surgery, because I knew I had no control, and I kind of like to have control. So that was my biggest fear, but everyone was still praying, and the more I spoke about what was happening to me, the more people prayed. People I'd never met before. I met one time in a supermarket. And when I got to the hospital, there were 3 people from SLC there to hold that space. One of them was Sandy Wilson, Carol Manson, and Denise Anye. I was late getting there because my husband drove. And when I got there, I saw them, and I forgot about how I was feeling about the surgery. And we went upstairs at Sutter Roseville. It's a loft, and there's all these people, and they're all sitting around. They're all not looking at each other. They're all just looking bad. I'm hungry because no food overnight, and there's a couple talking about food, so I jumped in the conversation. And still feeling that power of prayer, all the people in the area, especially with Denise and Carol there, you can't not speak. And it was like a big, humongous prayer. Everybody was laughing, and I didn't give a second thought to going into surgery. And I know what got me through it and what got me here now is the prayers, the transformation of my body through all the prayers from everyone, everywhere. And I thought, if we can do that, if this can be done for one person like me, if we could all get together all the time and pray like that every day until we see the change, I know we can make a difference because it's made a difference for me. And I just want to say thank you guys for listening and praying. Don't stop. I'm not done yet.
Let's give that SLC blessing to both Lori and to Ann. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold God's love in you. We truly do. We come here for so many reasons.
I've got something.
Oh,
So there are many things that foster transformation here at Spiritual Life Center. And of course, prayer is one of the most important things, as we have just heard. And so if you are having a challenge, and if you have something, or if you have something to celebrate, find one of our chaplains. They wear the white stoles and they're out in the courtyard and they're happy and thrilled to spend time talking with you. And of course, you can always check out our small groups and other happenings during the week. Go to the Cub, talk with the ladies, look at the bulletin board. Or of course, you can always find anything you need on our website.
and we come here for so many reasons, but one of them is for connection. Let's share and give connection as appropriate right now.
Take all that good energy from greeting one another and join us in our Faith in Action song. I got the power. Please join us in singing.
Let there be light, our light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light, our light shining in the presence and power of Spirit. Spirit in me, let there be light. Shining, all light shining in the presence and power of
about faith in action has been the artwork which we've been showing each week, and the written statements by the artists, which I find really fascinating. And it really connects with the Lieberman book and what we are seeing in our groups. The first work, and they follow, each one follow a different chapter. The first one is by Carolyn Cochran. In chapter 5, she writes of luminous light, Jacob Lieberman suggests that consciousness is light and light is consciousness. They do not exist without each other. We all originate from the same light and the same consciousness. He also states, quote, what is revealed in our dreams through the light of consciousness provides profound insights into our inner life, end of quote. Seeing during the day or seeing in our dreams both require the light of consciousness. Seeing during the day is by the light of the sun, and seeing in our dreams is by the light of consciousness. The yin and yang in this carved gourd sculpture represents both the contrast and the connectedness of light and dark, sun and moon, walking in dream, light and consciousness, visible and invisible, daytime vision and dreamtime vision, inner life and outer life. Wow. And Beverly Aiken has the next chapter, and she writes, this picture is needle felted using layers of dyed wool. Barely visible in the center of the tree is the green heart, symbolizing that we live in the heart of God. In the section about merging into oneness, Lieberman writes that the sun and the moon both appear to emit light. But the sun is the source and the moon is the reflection. While the sun provides the light and warmth for all the earth to grow, the aura around the moon in the night sky, along with twinkling stars to wish upon, keep hope alive. The tree exemplifies the quote from the Gospel of Thomas, quote, when you make the two one, the male and female are one and the same, end of quote. The trunk supports the two branches of the tree, male and female, holding up a little sprout that is always reaching. A strong, solid tree rises from the roots anchored in the earth. Walking in nature, we feel peace and stillness. May we be rooted solidly in God, like the moon, may we reflect brightness. May we be interconnected with the infinite expansion of the universe as we merge into oneness and let our luminous life shine. Thank you to our artists.
Begin by centering ourselves in our chairs, feet firmly planted on the floor, grounded to the earth, centered in our heart. Let's speak together our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom, we cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. We're going to sing this beautiful chant, which we have incorporated into our mission statement. Why have we come to earth?
Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come? To love, serve, and remember. To love, serve, and remember. Please join us in singing.
So let us move into this time of quiet and contemplation by taking a slow, deep breath. Let it out. Calm your body, calm your mind. With each breath now, allow yourself to release any tensions or concerns. Bring your full consciousness into this room, into your body, into the sanctuary of your heart. As you relax, your consciousness begins to drift and then float up into the ethers, into the land of daydreams. You are standing on a high mesa near midnight. It is quiet and still. It's a cool summer night, and the moon has not yet risen, which makes the panorama of the Milky Way even more spectacular. The millions and millions of stars turn the sky into a river of blue-white light. And you gaze up into this miracle of light in the stillness of the night. The river of light pulses and beckons. And it is in this moment that you know that this is your true home. The stars are made up of the same substance that makes you. You and the stars are the same. You close your eyes and you throw your arms wide and you extend your own light and standing quietly become one with the Milky Way in just a brief moment of silence. As you lower your arms and look toward the east, you see the full moon hanging low and bright on the horizon, as if waiting for its cue to begin its ascent. The realization comes that you and the stars are the same, with one exception. The stars do not hide their lights. They shine for all the universe to see. As you watch the moon rise a little higher in the sky and gaze upon its magnificence, you ask, how is this possible? The moon, high in the sky, now illuminates a granite altar. And as you approach, you see that there is a small book lying open on the altar. And it says, there are more possibilities than there are stars. As you gaze upon the lights of the universe, imagine each one as a possibility or dream in your life. Dreams for growth, change, transformation. Allow that light of possibility to enter your mind and heart and lay it on the altar of light. And so in this moment, you think of what your best dream is. What is possible in your life? What you want to open up to? And symbolically lay your possibility on the altar in the middle of the moonbeam. Moonlight silently streams down, filling you with vision and confidence. And you accept the light of this possibility of your dream into your body and your soul. And now, in the light, immerse yourself into the vision of your dream and possibilities in the silence. The light of your dreams burns within you. As you take a breath to return to this room and your body, hear this blessing. Oh, my beloved, you are the stars, and the stars are you. You are a child of the universe. Everything you ever need is within you. Your possibilities are infinite. Your inner light is infinite. Shine your light for all to see. It is why you came to earth. Remember this always.
Your dreams brought you here. Where will they take you tomorrow? You believed in spite of fear, and you stayed strong, had faith, and followed. No, nothing can hold you back from your tomb. So now it's up to you and only you to choose. Yes, the road seems long and a little weary, and you may have lost only to gain. And now you're sitting here so you can hear me congratulate you for stepping out into the rain. 'Cause sometimes you just don't know if that sun's gonna shine. But a vision fed your fire time after time. Your dreams brought you here. Where will they take you tomorrow? You believed in spite of fear, and you stayed strong, had faith, and followed. No, nothing can hold you back from your truth. Now it's up to you and only you to choose. And you chose, yes, you chose, yeah. You've got everything right here, and all that you see is yours to have. And now your only goal is knowing what you want, dear.
Wow. So good to have you back where you belong. And thank you for a wonderful meditation, Reverend Deborah. Well, you know, dreams can be very revealing, but they oftentimes can be very amusing too. Let me share a dream I had a few months back. Let me set it up first. I used to be a very heavy smoker of pipes, cigars, and I could roll my own cigarettes. I was... I went to, way back when, I went to the dentist, and the dentist said to me, Rick, you are getting something on the roof of your mouth. It's either a callus from smoking or it could be lymphatic cancer. You may want to read up about lymphatic cancer. So I went, and this was way before the internet, I went to the library, started reading up about lymphatic cancer, scared the living bejeebies out of me. And I must say, I've had to deal with several addictions. Tobacco was the hardest addiction of them all. And I for those of you who still smoke and want to give it up or whatever, I really feel for you. It's a very, very rough addiction. And I get, it's been years since I've smoked, but I still get these vivid smoking dreams. So in the dream, I am sitting by a pool at a 5-star resort, the kind where, United Way we used to go to for high-end donors and all that. And a man with a Cuban accent comes over and he says, are you Reverend Rick? And I said, yes, I am. He said, well, congratulations, you've won this box of Cuban cigars. There must be some. No. Let me give you one. He opens it up. I said, I don't have a cigar cutter anymore. Oh, use mine. He clips it. I take it. I light it. Oh, and I am blowing smoke rings better than the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. And all of a sudden, in comes Randy Traer. Randy Traer, a good friend from high school, and he looks just like he did in high school, talks the same. He looks at me and says, Ricky, and so it was from way back when, Ricky, please don't smoke. We know so much from our high school days, please don't smoke. I took the cigar out of my mouth in the dream, blew a perfect smoke ring, and I said, Randy, it's okay, it's safe. I only smoke in dreams. And this is a dream. Whereupon I woke up, turned, and the box of fine Cuban cigars turned out to be my cat, who climbed into the bed. I think Dr. Lieberman has so many interesting things to say about dreams, and it's really interesting. Some of the quotes which you're going to hear me say are artists glommed onto, those same quotes that hit them too. Dr. Lieberman says, seeing during the day involves the light of the sun, primarily interacting with the conscious mind. And then he says, however, seeing during the night while we're dreaming involves light of consciousness largely interacting with the unconscious mind and creating a level of reality unlimited by time and space that appears both recognizable and otherworldly. And he adds, dreams are where our fears and concerns about life repeatedly appear in symbolic matter. This provides us a depth of awareness to help integrate our lives. And he also says, that what is revealed in dreams through the light of consciousness provides profound insights into our inner life. He notes that Sigmund Freud said that the interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities in the mind. And he adds, the depth of vision experienced in our dreams provides us with a glimpse of our limitless nature. The question now is to tap this limitless nature in our waking lives, to bring this unconscious into our waking lives. The The last time I was in St. Petersburg, Florida, it wasn't all that long ago, my daughter Teresa and I went to the great Salvador Dali Museum, which is in that city. Oh my goodness, the surrealistic art, which was, it was incredible. Well, I believe all of us have had in our dreams visual tableaus equal to the work of Salvador Dali. I believe in our dreams, all of us have constructed dialogues equal to the fabulous prose of Lewis Carroll or Mark Twain or Franz Kafka. I believe that in our dreams, all of us have had insights equal to Buckminster Fuller and Nikola Tesla. The question is then, I think Dr. Lieberman hits it on the head. How do we tap that reservoir? I've been reading, and several of you have given me books about Sacramento, and I've been loved reading them, and there's gold in, particularly the gold rush, there's gold in them thar river, there's gold in them thar hills, there is gold in them thar mind. The problem is bringing it out, as it were, into consciousness. Now, it's very interesting looking at sort of contenders, different theories about dreams, how they come, and et cetera, et cetera. And, I'm going to give you one from which is probably the majority opinion, and then I'm going to give you one which is probably from the minority opinion. But it's interesting. If you remember from a week or two ago, I was talking about light, particle, wave, all the, and different centuries, different eras. What was the majority view became the minority view. What was the minority view became. So who's to say in the future what's majority and minority? But I would say right now, the majority theory about how dreams come in, et cetera, is exactly what I would call the electrical discharge and chemical discharge theories. I don't know about you, but I have found that roughly 95% of my electronica problems, if I just reboot, if I just shut the thing off and reboot, it solves the problem. Well, and I would say this predominantly scientists, modern scientists would go with this, that what essentially happens during our dreams is the brain goes through and our systems go through a massive reboot. And there are electrical discharges which are happening in the brain and also chemical discharges which are happening in the body. These discharges tend to be random. However, our mind doesn't accept that it's just random discharges and tries to impose order on these random discharges. And it's interesting, there are a lot of Freudians, a lot of Jungians, a lot of Carl Rogerites who accept, this discharge theory, but then they come back and say, yes, but how the mind interprets this electrical Rorschach test, as it were, is so revealing. And it can give you real insight into one's subconscious concerning wishes, fears, desires, et cetera, et cetera. And it's interesting to see how many different schools have made their peace with this electrical discharge theory. However, minority view, there's something called quantum dreaming. And it's been an interesting concept. Quantum dreaming is the concept that explores the ideas that dreams are not just random narratives, but can be portals to parallel dimensions and alternate realities. It proposes that during dream consciousness, we may be tapping into a vast tapestry of quantum possibilities and alternate timelines. Dreams might be glimpses into different paths that could have taken, acting as bridges between the familiar waking reality and countless parallel worlds existing simultaneously. This perspective sees dreams as a cosmic cinema playing scenes from alternate realities. This concept also ties into quantum consciousness, where awareness and observation play an active role in shaping reality. Quantum dreaming suggests that through conscious interpretation of dreams and psychic visions, individuals can become participants in shaping their reality by aligning with the possibilities offered in their dream states. Additionally, this school of thought also looks at ancient and very modern practices surrounding dreaming. Let me make two suggestions if you're interested to follow up on this. One fellow who's very, very interesting and actually has spoken a while ago at Unity Village is Dr. Fred Allen Wolf. Dr. Fred Allen Wolf from UCLA. He actually won he won the National Book Award for his book, Taking the Quantum Leap. And the one that really deals more into quantum dreaming is called The Dreaming Universe. Another who I would strongly suggest is a woman by the name of Teresa Chung from Cambridge University. She's written many, many things, but one of them, she's probably most famous, is called The Dreaming Dictionary. And what I find very fascinating about this, she looks at both the personal subconscious and also sort of the collective unconscious, collective archetypes. So if you have a flying dream, you know, a flying dream may have some tie to some archetypal thing, but it also could have certain person, you know, if your father was an airline pilot and maybe he took you up in an airplane when you were, it might have very different impact for you to somebody who didn't fly until they were, you know, they were 20 years old. So I think there's so much to be said about tapping into this gold mine and making more of this unconscious world, which is an incredible gold mine, conscious into our everyday life. I'm going to suggest a few ways which have been very effective for me, but you know, I think sometimes if something works for us, if it works for me, it must be a universal truth, you know? If it works for me, it works for me, and it may not work for you at all. But let me suggest several things that have really, honestly, truly have worked for me. And if you, some of you, I'm sure you remember the old Alka-Seltzer commercial. Remember the guy would look up and he'd say, try it, you'll like it. So try it, you might like it, maybe not. If you don't, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. The first thing which I would strongly suggest about this of dream work is to go at it with realistic expectations. Go at it with realistic expectations. I, you know, could think, you know, whenever I got interested in this, I would think, oh my God, so I'm only remembering a smidgen of what that dream, and then I get up and it's lost, and I forgot this. Well, anyway, one of the best therapists I ever had was a woman by the name of Dr. Rosemary Sagala. And I said, Rosemary, I try, but I'm only remembering, and when I remember, whether I interpret well, I mean, it's a smidgen. Rosemary looked at me, and again, a great therapist, and she said, you know, Rick, on a good day, if I roughly capture 20% of what's going on in my dream life, I consider that a great day. And I thought, Rosemary, she only gets 20%, and so what I'm suggesting is great, you know, realistic expectations. Rick, if you're batting 8%, that's consider that a success. Second, I would suggest have notebooks. Seriously, have notebooks or your smartphone by the bed. Be able to record quickly, because if you don't have the paper there, by the time you get the paper, half the stuff is gone, and your pen is not writing, and you've totally lost it. Next, something which has worked so well for me is something called active imagination, and probably the key developer of it was Carl Jung. It was developed by Carl Jung, and it involves consciously dialoguing with images, figures, and symbols that arise from the unconscious mind, helping to produce integration of the unconscious material and the conscious material. Carl Jung was very famous for something called the Red Book, which is literally a red book. He was a great artist too, besides, a great writer. And images would come to him in a dream, and he would sit and he would then write and dialogue, as it were dialogue. One of the famous figure that would come in his dreams is a wise old man called Philemon, what the wise old man, the spirit guide. And it would come in his dreams, and he would consciously awake, just starting to dialogue. The interesting thing is, you hear about great novelists, and they create a character, but then somehow the character starts going on. When I created Anna Karenina, I didn't think it was Anna was going to do blah, 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 blah. But it's sort of, she takes a life of her own and taps a part of the mind and really comes out. You'd be surprised when you start doing these dialogues. One of them, which I have found my grandfather he was the one, came over to this country with nothing, made a fabulous fortune before the Great Depression, lost it in the Great Depression, and then was able to rebuild a lot back. He died in 1952, but I think his influence has had such a powerful impact on my family, as it were. The dialogues I've had, with my grandfather, and again, am I really talking to my grandfather, or am I talking to a part of my mind? Is it opening up a part of my mind? Now, if you folks think that this is not congruent with unity teachings or anything else like that, let me tell you a true story. Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of the Unity movement. A lot of times, Myrtle Fillmore would take two chairs, and she'd face the two chairs to each other, and she'd put a picture of Jesus in one of the chairs, and then she would have a chat. She would have a talk with the chair and what was in the chair and all that. Now, was she really talking to Jesus, or was she talking to some sort of higher self inside of her, some sort of Christ consciousness? I leave it to you to decide. But all I can tell you is when you read books Myrtle's books, such as The Healing Letters, and you see the profound wisdom which she was able to offer to people going through some of the worst challenges that life can throw you. I don't know what it was, but there's a funny story. Well, I find it funny anyway. During the Civil War, and for a long period in the Civil War, things were not going well for the Union side. And anyway, so finally, Lincoln appoints Ulysses S. Grant as the general of large part of the Union Army, and people come to him, and they say, "Do you know Grant drinks? I mean, he gets drunk at night." Lincoln looked up and said, "Well, find out what Grant is drinking, and give a case of it to all the other Union generals." I find active imagination. And it doesn't have to be with human beings. If there's a bird or if there's a seal in your dream, or a duck or something like that keeps showing up, dialogue with the duck. You will be surprised you will be surprised so often what comes out. Other tool which has just so worked for me is something called two-way prayer. Father Bill W., again, from Alcoholics Anonymous, so anonymity. He's an Episcopal priest. He's just written, I think, a wonderful book called The Power of Two-Way Prayer, a wonderful, wonderful book. Essentially, what two-way prayer is, you center, you write a letter to God, your higher power, or is it your higher self? You then recenter, repray, you pick up a pen, and you record a letter back from God, Spirit, your higher power, or your higher self. Let me read some quotes from Father Bill. Father Bill says, this process gets your listening for that still small voice that resides within us all. The voice is honest, pure, unselfish, and loving. It leads us in that direction. Father Bill was an active alcoholic for many, many years, but when he got sober, he felt very much that it was a voice saying to him, your ego can't do it, but with me you can. And Father Bill writes, at the heart, when he started doing two-way prayer, I rediscovered that voice that first spoke to me the day I took my last drink. The voice seems to go by different names as it speaks in the hearts and minds of different people. But amazingly, it always sounds very much the same. It is the voice of love, of wanting and waiting to be heard, and followed by whoever may be ready and willing to listen. And Father Bill writes, and I love this, he writes, sometimes people ask me, how do you know it's really God's voice you're listening to and not just your own? I tell them, I really don't know for sure, but I don't worry about it anymore. If it's me, it's the best part of me that I've ever found. It's the part of me that wants to become who I was meant to be. It wants me to become honest, pure, unselfish, and above all loving. It assures me it's never too late to change, and there's always more room to grow. And when I fail to listen or to follow it, it never yells at me like my father, but patiently waits for my return, asking, are you more ready now to listen? Unity's second principle, there's a divine spark inside us all. I ask you, what would a loving God do and want? Of course, a loving God would want to have conversations and want to communicate with us. I think so often it is our sense of unworthiness and shame that oh my God, God would never speak to me that way. What do you think? God spoke all these times in the past, but now has developed a terminal case of laryngitis? I would further add, though, when doing this, check it out with have a good spiritual mentor. Check it out. I do spiritual direction with I feel so blessed with Reverend Robert Brummett. Many of you view Reverend Robert as sort of being like the Yoda of the Unity movement. I check it out with him. I also would strongly suggest check it out with sacred scriptures around the world. Check it out with sacred scriptures around the world. I think a story which so ties and brings all this in, both discharge, and also quantum dreaming and all that. It's a story by a woman by the name of Jill Meredith who lives in South Daytona, Florida. And it's interesting. I've really enjoyed meeting so many of you, having coffee, going to lunch. I've gone to several of your homes and et cetera, et cetera. And, it's been very interesting. A lot of the stories you've told, like just last Friday, the person I was with was telling me about he was working one of his colleagues, a younger guy who he was so close with, and he said, he suddenly died at a very young age, and the lights went out in his office, and we had electricians, nobody could fix the lights or anything. Then we had a celebration of his life, and we came back, and the lights were on. The lights were on. So let me tell Jill's story. Jill was about to go back to Bermuda with her son with her husband Johnny. Johnny came from Bermuda. They were married in Bermuda 10 years ago, and here was going to be they were going to renew their vows and everything. And Jill kept on dreaming of Johnny's mother, Mum. Everybody called her Mum. And she was a wonderful woman. Jill felt that she came from the wrong side of the tracks, and Johnny's family, obviously upper crust, from the right side of the tracks. They would never accept her or anything else. And Mum was just so accepting, and it was from Mum that Jill's spiritual life really started to develop. Mum loved animals, particularly red cardinals, and she loved it when they would land on orange tree branches. So anyway, she's been dreaming about going back to Bermuda, and they're back in Bermuda, dreaming about Mum and the kindness and the warmth from her. She woke up. They were using old suitcases, and she went to one of the old suitcases. True story. She opens one of the pockets, and there's a letter. She opens the letter and starts to read, and it's from Mum to Johnny, saying, "Dear Johnny, when you come here, if I'm asleep, just come on in and make yourself at home. I'm really looking forward to meeting Jill. I think she's nervous, and I really want to make her feel welcome and a part of our family. Love, Mum. And Jill was just, wow. I mean, and she ran downstairs to show the letter to people. And there, as she was going down the stairs, there on the orange trees in the courtyard were 2 cardinals right on there. So I think this really all boils down to a few key points. First, the importance of dreams. Both the personal and the collective unconscious. Dreams are so important. And second, whether you hold to the electrical discharge view of dreams or quantum dreaming or some other theory, it is important to find ways to tap into that vital unconscious warehouse and to be able to do it when we are awake. And there are, third, I think, some ways. I don't know, I wouldn't claim that they're universal truths, but they've worked for me, and I know they've worked for others, such as going into it with realistic expectations, using that power of active imagination. Sometimes you may feel writing to a reindeer who showed up in my, yeah, reindeers in your dreams talk, and also by that fabulous power of two-way prayers. And yes, God wants to communicate with you. And fourth, be sure to check out your active imagination and two-way prayers with a trusted spiritual mentor and also with scriptures from around the world. Let me end with a quote which, it's interesting. One of our artists really put that quote in from the Gospel of Thomas, and Lieberman goes to this Gospel of Thomas. There are 4 they're called the canonical Gospels, 4 official Gospels in the Bible: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But archaeology, we have found over 50 Gospels. Most of them didn't make it in. Some of them were probably written in the 2nd or 3rd century, but some of them are as old as the canonical Gospels. The Gospel of Thomas, we believe that the oldest of the canonical Gospels is Mark, probably written around the year 70. We believe, for I think very sound reasons, that the Gospel of Thomas is as old as the Gospel of Mark. And in the Gospel of Mark, Jesus says, "When you make the two one, the inside like the outside, and the outside like the inside, the above like the below, the male and the female one and the same, then you will enter the kingdom." Let me add, when you can connect the conscious with more of the unconscious, then you will also enter the kingdom. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Reverend Rick, for reminding us to just trust that voice. And, I've lived a long time with people being really worried about what was coming through me. And I went to an Episcopal priest, I was Episcopal church, and he said, if you go to Matthew, and it says you can tell by the fruits of the labor. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And we always have an affirmation every year for, I love what Reverend Rick did last week. So let's say it together, take a breath, say it, and let's do it 3 times, okay? I release illusion of separation. I step into presence. We are one. We live our light. I release the illusion of separation. I step into presence. We are one. We live our light. I release the illusion of separation. I step into presence. We are one. We live our light. Next week, we will be in week 4 of Faith in Action, and I get to talking about, this is hilarious. Yeah, the awakening the light of genius, yes. We'll see how that one goes. Meditation, we have Reverend Janae on board, and then Anne is going to be with us again with Larry and Soul Light Connection, so it's going to be a great week. And of course, we love to welcome our newcomers. And so if you're watching us online, you can go to slcworld.org and fill out click on the Connect button and fill out the welcome card, and that will keep you connected with us and let you know what's going on at SLC and more of a real-time thing. And the really cool part about that is that if you live close and you feel connected to us, maybe you'll come see us in person, and we would love that. And of course, if you're here in person today, in a moment we would ask you to raise your hand because we love and we really appreciate newcomers. But first, I just want to let you know that we will give you a card that you can fill out, take it to the welcome table, and they will give you a gift, a small gift, and a warm welcome. Do we have anybody who's with us for the first time today? Any newcomers? Okay. We're all family today. I love family. Thank you for everyone for being here. And of course, now we have the opportunity to support Spiritual Life Center, and you can text SLC Love to 44321, or you can also go to slcworld.org and click on the donate button. And of course, you can always mail in an offering if you choose to do that. We also ask that you, like everybody else, is click on like, comment, share, or subscribe. And there are some advantages to you for subscribing, because your feed will give you the most recent things right immediately when you go onto the website. Or, of course, you also, when you are clicking all of those other things, you're sending this message out into the world. And then hopefully those people are sending it farther. And as I keep saying every week, if this world needs this message right now. So let's spread it as far and as wide as we can. Okay, so for those of us here, let us take our offering in hand or symbolically in hand and say our blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
My eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say that I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. Vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside it filled with things from far away. Special things I've compiled, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. See, I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. For the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. me. We close our eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. If all the world could be a vision of the one I see, a million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Dear Spirit, thank you for the prayers in our prayer box and also the prayers that are just in people's hearts. Help them to know that they are truly one with the one, and that healing, prosperous power and divine order flows through them, and that they are connected to a positive sea of possibilities. Thank you for all the time, treasure, and talent that is invested in this ministry. And thank you for that forgiveness, that hope, that faith, and that love. And that you are still a God that wants to speak to us now and forever. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And we say that wonderful prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. I am, and all is well. And we sing that wonderful peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let this be the moment. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me.
There'll be more wonderful music, but then come out and join us for fellowship in the courtyard.